Good evening, Internet. Stream here playing some more Standard tonight, and I don't know about you, but I'm already pretty sick of Boomerang Basics and Badgermole Cubs in Avatar Standard. So we're going to do what we do and do our best to try to hate them out and punish people for playing them as much as possible. Let's get on some Esper hate bending in Standard and take a look. So, this is an Esper deck that's similar to a number of like hatebears decks that I played, where we're trying to disrupt the most popular strategies in the format with mostly with white creatures, but we're pretty laser focused on two different strategies for this build. We're trying to hate out the Boomerang Basics decks, which are bounce decks. They're using, bounce effects like Nurturing Pixie and like Fear of Isolation to pick up and replay Storm Chaser's talents, momentum breakers, those kinds of really value-y enchantments in the early turns to basically generate an overwhelming amount of value and also to make it so that it's very hard to keep creatures on the battlefield. We're also trying to shut down Badgermole Cub decks, which is the other very popular archetype coming out of Avatar that uses Badgermole Cub plus a bunch of mana dorks to just generate an insane amount of mana very early in the game. So while we have played other Hatestorm decks on the channel, this is very focused on trying to punish those two strategies. So how are we going to do this? Well, let's take a look at our hate pieces. The two major ones obviously are going to be the Doorkeeper Thrull, which shuts down into the battlefield effects, so it stops the Nurturing Pixies from picking up momentum breakers and Storm Chaser's talents. It stops the Sun Piddle Kyrian from doing the same thing. Note that those same bounce decks also tend to abuse Quantum Riddlers with spells that flicker the Quantum Riddlers with the ability to Boomerang Basics the Quantum Riddlers. Doorkeeper Thrull, it stops all of the value from those enters effects, stops opponents from replaying those momentum breakers and Storm Chaser talents off of their white bounce cards. And then the second piece that we have, which is more pointed at the Badgermole Cubs, is Clarion Conqueror, which just it negates the activated abilities of creatures. That includes mana abilities. It's really kind of funny how hard this hoses Badgermole Cub, actually, because their whole board is built on like one-drop mana dorks. They're basically trying to like ramp into an Uroboros on like turn 3, just create a ridiculous amount of value. Clarion Conqueror stops all of that. It actually even stops their lands that they earthbend from tapping for mana, because those lands are creatures now, and so their abilities are shut down, including their mana abilities. So we're running the full playset of Clarion Conqueror to hate out those Badgermole Cubs and make sure they can't generate all that mana for free. Of course, the bounce decks are also really good at like making you sack all your creatures. So we have a little cheeky bit of tech with some Infestation Sages, just 1 mana 1/1s that when they die, they create a 1/1 black and green insect token. We don't want to have to sacrifice our hate bears to the momentum breakers. So Infestation Sage just like cancels the first 2 momentum breakers that our opponents manage to get off, if they should manage to get off any. So I like the cheekiness of this little bit of tech. We're also just going hard on the discard at 1 mana in particular. We've got 3 Duresses, we've got 3 Intimidation tactics. We not only want to yank those Storm Chaser's talents and momentum breakers out of our opponent's hands, we want to yank those like Fear of Isolations and Pixies and the like entity trackers, all of the creatures that they use to enable the synergies for those, the Quantum Riddlers themselves. We can yank all of those out of our opponent's hands for 1 mana, even on the draw with Intimidation tactics. And Duress, we're going to take away their removal spells early in the game, so that by the time we play our hate bears, they're going to survive. And then really the rest of the deck is designed to keep our hate bears alive and to interact. What other creature we've got here that I should mention is the Scavenger Regents. I'm just a big fan of this in black-based control decks. On the Omen side, it's a sweeper that's really good against 1 toughness creatures in particular. It's 3 mana to kill like all 1 toughness creatures, which is great. We don't have any of those. Also note that the Clarion Conqueror is a dragon, so like it doesn't suffer the minus of the Omen side of this. Also a 4/4 ward, flying ward discard a card for 4 mana is just great to help us close out games. And then we just got a lot of interaction and removal on the cheap side, because we want to get in there. We want to get that. We want to interact early, so we've got a couple of Seam Rips, very versatile in removal, can hit cheap creatures, as well as stuff like Innkeeper's talents and Storm Chaser's talents. A couple of Spell Pierce, we want to have the Spell Pierce to stop those early plays. We are mainboarding the 1 of Stab, because this is just where we're at. 1 mana spells are good, 1 mana instant speed, kill a mana dork, kill a Badgermole Cub. We are at the point where we want to start playing cards like that. This is a good get lost deck, because we're playing the Clarion Conquerors, meaning that our opponent won't be able to crack the map tokens that we give them. Dai Li Indoctrination is just like a pilfer. It's a 2-mana Thoughtseize from the avatar that I'm playing instead of Binding Negotiation, which I had been playing. I'm just trying this card out. This card might be better than Binding Negotiation because it can actually let us earthbend a land into an attacking threat. We've got a couple of long goodbyes, really great removal against things that are 3 mana or below is kind of right where standard is at. So the cheap removal is what we're primarily interested in. Strategic Betrayal makes our opponent sack a creature and also exiles their graveyard. We've got a 1 of No More Lives for a little bit of counterspell protection. Aang's Iceberg is just a instant speed Oblivion Ring, so we like this effect. And then we've got a bit of card draw with our Consult the Star Charts. Stock ups split up into a playset to get us make sure that we draw the cards we need when we need them. A 1 of Ride's End is a bit of additional removal. Of course, like, we don't really have that fast of a clock, so I'm trying a 1 of Air Nomad Legacy, which it provides a clue token which we may not be able to crack because we're a Clarion Conqueror deck. However, I believe that 2-mana Anthems are just really good. If you don't believe me, look at all the Champion of Anthems decks I played on my channel. I think just boosting up the power and toughness of our flying creatures is going to be the way that we close out games. And of course, our mana base is going to help with that too. Speaking of which, there are 24 lands in the mana base, 1 of each of the restless creatures, an anchorage, a fortress, and a, what's the other one? The reef. We've got a 1 of Abandoned Air Temple, which is also really, really good for this deck. It's going to help us close out games. It's freaking Gavany Township, which I love that card. It's like a fair Ouroboros that you have to like pay mana for. So this land is going to really help us out a lot. And we've got 2 Demolition Fields, just because we want to hate our opponent's land as well. We don't like those stupid creature lands and like fountain ports. The sideboard contains a couple of annulls to further hate on the momentum breaker decks. Also very good against Dimir, actually, to counter like Enduring Curiosity. It's good against Dimir, and maybe not that good. The Crystal Barricade is good against red decks that want to kill our creatures with red burn spells. Also good against discard heavy decks. We've got an Exercising to Get Lost for a bit of additional removal against artifacts and enchantments. Again, we are a good Get Lost deck. 1 Detect Intrusion can help us stop an impactful activated ability or trigger. We've got Stab number 2, so we can go up to 2 copies of this instant feed cheap removal spell for, the Badgermole Cub outlet matchup, really. Strategic Betrayal number 2 is here. No More Lies number 2 is here. Now, another thing that we're really we're leaning into is Pest Control. I think it's time to start playing this card again in numbers, because this kills all the otters, it kills the Storm Chasers talents, it kills every single mana dork for the Badgermole Cub decks. So I'm running 3 of this because I think this card is going to be really important. We've got a Torpor Orb for matchups where we want ETB hate number 5. Sometimes you just really, really want this. When you want this effect of shutting down inter-battlefield effects, you want it early in the game, so we have number 5 to bring in to shore up our Doorkeeper Thrulls. And we've got to split up as a bit of additional removal against, mid-range decks that play a lot of creatures. So that is Hatebender. We're really, really trying to hate out those Boomerang Basics decks and Badgermole Cubs. So I think we should have a good matchup against those decks. I'm a little worried about like Control. I don't think we're very good against that, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll just play against like Boomerang Basics all night long. And if that happens, I think we'll do pretty well. So let's get in some matches. If you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Future Brain 420 will be our first opponent with our Esper Hate Bending deck. And we've got a Doorkeeper Thrull, which we can't play on turn 2 as is, though we should be able to hold up a Spell Pierce. We're going to keep this. We do have our Temple. Alright, we'll just lead on our Surveil Land. Diali Indoctrination. It's gonna be good. We're a little lacking in black mana at the moment, so I think we'll actually... Well... I'm gonna hold on to it. We've got Consult the Star Charts, so we'll just leave it on top. It's gonna be good. Most Helpful Weaver makes a spider, and then it puts a counter on target creature, and then gives the creature double strike. Okay, sure. We will play this and pass. Wonderweave Aerialist. Ethereal Armor. Okay, well, we can still pierce that. Clarion Conqueror. Unfortunately, this land enters tapped, so we can't play it. I think we're just passing. Well, target creature gains double strike till the end of the turn? Sure. Shard Mage's Rescue. Okay. You got it. Alright, Doorkeeper Thrull doesn't shut down enchantments. Yeah, we're probably blocking one of these creatures. Oh, that one had double strike. Oops. That's the one we should have blocked. Okay. Again, our options are really not very good. We can play this Clarion Conqueror. When you unlock this, put a +1/+1 counter. When you unlock this, create a 1/1 Glimmer enchantment creature token. Okay. Well, the Clarion Conqueror can trade with the spider, I guess. Sheltered by ghosts. Alright, well, we didn't do a whole lot there. The game did end a turn early because we made a bad block. Still, not the best for us, but we should be able to sideboard pretty well here. They're just playing cheap creatures, so... Like, Strategic Betrayal is going to be great against them because they're all about loading up a few creatures. I think Pest Control also is going to be good. A Null clearly will be good against them. Yeah, probably just like Stab. Instant speed removal in response to their enchantments. I don't feel like Doorkeeper Thrull's that great. Clarion Conqueror also isn't that great. But like kind of these are the creatures we are working with, so we can't cut them out because we do need them to actually win the game. Cut a Duress. Infestation Sages we don't need for this matchup really. Anything else? We just want more stuff that can kill creatures. Get Lost, probably. We'll cut Air Nomad Legacy. Maybe we can't afford all these stabs. We'll just try like this. Alright, well, we've got to turn 1 Intimidation Tactics. We can also Strategic Betrayal, so I think we keep this clearly. Intimidate. Scavengers and Wonder Weave Artists. We'll definitely take a Scavenger. Alright, Pest Control is going to be good. Do we Strategic Betrayal here? I'm like, we have nothing better to do, so I suppose we probably should. Although pest control is really gonna clean up stuff decently well. It will kill the scavenger, and will kill their spider token. I also don't get to play it for like 2 more turns. Yeah, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm just gonna strategic betrayal. It's just best to kill their creatures whenever you have an opportunity. Aerialists, okay. We draw Multiversal Passage. So I think we're gonna play this on white. Untapped. Seam Rip, pay the ward. Okay, a little anti-synergy here between Seam Rip and Pest Control. But opponents with Seam Rip are Seam Rip, so that's not too bad. Go ahead and play your spider too. There you go. That's perfect. Okay, sweet. So now we can pest control. Kill your spider, kill your Seam Rip. Seam Rip your enchantment, I guess? Sheltered by ghosts. If only we had blue mana. Alright, let's find another removal spell for this. Of course, opponent's on mono plane, so we can't demolition field any of their lands. Clarion Conqueror. Alright, that's what we got, so we're playing Clarion Conqueror. We have another one of these guys waiting. Shard Mage's Rescue. Okay, we'll block this guy. Oh man, the most awkward mana ever. Alright. Creatures gaining double strike. Ethereal armor. Yeah, if at any point we had blue mana, things would have gone much differently for us, but we never did. Long goodbye. So we're still dead. They have 2... Oh, actually, this works, doesn't it? Because I get my Seam Rip back right away, which means I can Seam Rip their Aerialist and pay the ward. So we're actually still in this somehow. Spellbook Vendor. Okay. What does the sorcerer roll do again? +1/+1, whatever it attacks, scry 1. Okay. Alright, let's... long goodbye that, I guess. We don't want them to scry 1. We don't need to pay it, because it's long goodbye. Seam rip that guy. Pay the ward. Okay, we've found blue mana, finally. We need to find some way of dealing with this spellbook vendor. They scried to the top. Okay. Scavenger Regents. X equals 3. Okay. Another spellbook vendor. And we die. Alright, well, too bad. Sometimes it's better to have one color instead of 3. Maxwell is our next opponent. We'll be on the play. Yeah, we got Doorkeeper Thrull and Spell Pierce are both cards we like, we'll keep. So we'll lead on this Verge, I think. That might be a mistake. That means I can't actually play my Thrull on 2. Oh. You want me to exile a card from my hand? Okay, I'll exile Swamp. Verge. Alright, let's play my tap land. More ruthless negotiation. Okay. I'll discard one of these Verges. Oh. Tap land, go. I'll play my Doorkeeper Thrull. Okay, Meticulous Archive. Oh, we'll just Surveil. More lands. We're probably good on lands. Strategic Betrayal. Okay. Ride's End. Well, it's just time to start fortressing, I guess. We'll discard Godless Shrine, I guess. We get to draw a card. Long goodbye. I think we're gonna hold up a Spell Pierce for this next Ruthless Negotiation. Yeah, we'll Spell Pierce that. So they don't get a card. Long goodbye. Oh. We're just attacking with our fortress, I guess. They have a demolition field, Bandit's talent. Spell Pierce. There goes our fortress. What do we want here? We got double white, we got blue. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Sometimes you see 2 or 3 player decks play the lands and enter taps unless you control 2 or fewer lands instead of 3 to 4. Is it really worth it since passives let you control? Well, they're dual. Those fast lands are dual lands, and they don't cost you any life. Do they actually have any creatures? I kind of don't think they do. So, in a more aggressive deck that is playing multiple colors, I think just the fixing of an untapped dual land really helps. Alright, we can kill their fortress. Passage? I don't know, I don't feel like I necessarily need to play any cards. Ruthless Negotiation, okay. I'll discard this land. Sure, I'll discard Spell Pierce. Draw a card. So, opponent appears to be playing discard spells. Or Bandit's Talent. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't like this position. Scavenger Regent? Yeah, we'll play Scavenger Regent. Clarion Conqueror. Ruthless Negotiation, sure. Exile. I don't know, this land, I guess. Fell. Okay, well, I don't think we're gonna win this one if we don't draw something. But we do have good sideboard against this. So they're Rankle's prank deck. Okay. So I think we're dead. I can seam rip one of these bandits' talents, but then the other one's gonna get me, so we'll pass. So let's annul detect intrusion. No more lies. Crystal barricades for sure. Probably about it. I like Infestation Sage because they're a strategic betrayal deck. Seam Rip is good. I don't think Intimidation Tactics does anything. Stab, I don't think does anything. Ride's End, I think, is certainly useless. Maybe we'll cut the Air Nomad Legacy. Let's try this. Well, you certainly don't want a mulligan against discard.deck, so I guess we're keeping this. And we'll play tap land turn 1. Consult the star chart should be good. Negotiation, we'll discard, I don't know, Scavenger Regents. Land, go. Dai Li Indoctrination. Let's play that. I guess we'll take Bandit's Talent, Cerebral Confiscation, Fell, The End, Strategic Betrayal. A non-land permanence. Oh, this only discards permanents. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's Bandit's Talent. I thought it was any non-land card. Okay, so I actually like Binding Negotiation better then. You discard 2? Sure, we'll discard Annul. And, I don't know. Consult number 1. Another Annul. Alright, let's consult. Stock up plus stock up. Seems pretty good. Let's stock up. We'll grab Spell Pierce plus maybe Abandoned Temple. Yeah, we'll Spell Pierce that. Alright, let's stock up again. Restless Reef plus Demolition Field, I think. Play Demolition Fields. Gonna get my anchorage. Sure, in response we'll get your fortress. We'll snag. I guess it doesn't really matter that much at this point. Swamp. Plains. Oh, I should have got an island there. That was stupid. Now they can play a bandit's talent. Wow. Huge, huge mistake. Shh. Discard this annul now. Wow. So punished. So punished. Only I had... That was just a silly mistake. So yeah. That might cost us the game, actually. Not grabbing an island there so that I could annul the bandit's talent. Ugh. Strategic betrayal. Come on, deck. Restless Fortress? Sure. Start attacking. Milieu. Aquazots. Clarion Conqueror. Oh, I don't know. Try to race, I guess. This isn't gonna work. You gonna block? Okay. Well, they kind of have to hold up the end, like, forever, so... Okay, Duress, that's a good one. They've doubled the end. Okay. Well, you want to spend your the end? Yep. Another demolition field. Boy, opponent's a champ of the top deck. We got the end number 2 right before I duress them. Demolition field when I'm in a position where I guess I don't have any more creature land, so... Still, it's going to shut down my abandoned air temple. They get to bring back Aquazots because they only have 1 card. And I don't know if we can beat that. Because we boarded out, like, everything that could deal with it. We still have our Angs, whatever, I guess. So what do we want to play here? I don't know, Clarion Conqueror? Not really much else to do. Yup. We'll discard Watery Grave, I guess. We get a bat. Risky shortcut. Alright, we're not gonna beat Aquazots. So, yeah, that's too bad. We have our, crystal barricades, but didn't find them. Chief.Mojo, the Brilliant, is our next opponent. Let's see if we can do a little hate bending. We'll be on the play. Cool, we'll keep this. Let's duress. Toils of War. Okay, so they're a sack deck. Which Clarion Conqueror is very good against. Alright, we'll play our own Infestation Sage. We're good on the lands deck. Stabby stab. Yeah, I think we want to stab this Bart before it can grow huge. Alright, they sack their freebooter. Get a treasure scribed to the bottom. Alright, Clarion Conqueror, come on. Nesting bot. Sure. Let's stock up. There's a Conqueror and a long goodbye. Alright, I think I just play Conqueror. Mortify. Okay. They have the removal. Okay, we'll play our Doorkeeper Thrull. Right in, that's a good one. Eaten alive. Uh-huh. Okay. Duress. Their last card is a land. Deep Cavern Bat. I think we will just kill that. Alright, deck. Another Infestation Sage, that's not bad. Alright, opponent scoops it up. Okay. So, sack a... We should be good against that. Clarion Conqueror is good against that. I think we want Torpor Orb, because they really valued killing our Doorkeeper Thrull. I would think Pest Control would be really good against them. So, Pest Control and Seam Rip is a non-bow. We board out some amount of Seam Rips when we Pest Control. Did we board them both out? Strategic Betrayal we want for sure. I think we'll cut the Spell Pierce and maybe a little bit of the Duress. Actually, I want some split of Spell Pierce and Duress. What's the right mix here? I don't want a null. Maybe just a 1-in-1. Try this. The last one I played. I feel like this one would be really good if we just got the right matchups. But this one's much more focused than the other ones that I played, which is a plus and a minus. Pest control, Doorkeeper Thrull will keep. Long Goodbye is a good card. Deep Cavern Bat. Takes Long Goodbye. Pass. Alright, well, they presumably have a removal spell. They don't. Okay, they trade. Well, that's fine with me, really. We draw another Doorkeeper Thrull. Sweet. Well, let's play this Infestation Sage. Alright, Doorkeeper Thrull. Resolute Reinforcements. Okay. Does not generate a token. Opponent scoops it up. Alright. Sweet. Yes, I love making cards not work. Feel for Fun 101, the Prominent Pioneer, is our next opponent. See if we can do some hate bending. We'll be on the play. Okay, we'll keep this, sure. I need to replace this with, Pilfer. Oh, Leyline of Resonance, okay. So they've got a Callous Sellsword and this stuff. I guess we'll just discard their card draw. Another Duress. Yeah, let's Duress. I guess we'll take their pump spells. So we want this on white, I think. So they suspend us, show off. We draw a stab. That's great. Another show off suspended. I think... Do I want... Nah, I don't want to kill this Leyline. I think I just play this tapped. I can die a lie to get rid of this Callous Sellsword? Don't think I really need to. Slick shot number one. Slick shot number 2. Lightning strike my face. Alright, we'll stab one. Alright, we'll play that on blue. Tapped. Seam rip. Slick shot. Make you discard the Callous Sellsword. Now we do need to draw something. More ley lines of resonance? Sure. More lands for us. How about some consult or stock ups deck? Clarion Conqueror? Okay. Something. Ride's End. Intimidation tactics. I mean, I really feel like they would just play a creature if they had one, right? So I think I'm just gonna cycle this. Alright, let's cycle. Aang's Iceberg. More removal, that's great. Duress. They have a Callous Sellsword. Abandon attachments. Allotted Slick Shot. Strategic Betrayal. The iceberg art might be the best in the set. Yeah, it's really nice. Very pretty colors. Consult. Okay. Oh, it scoops it up. Yeah, we just controlled their creatures. And that's really all we need to do. I think Crystal Barricades are good. Stab is good against Slickshot Show Off. Get Lost is going to be good against them. Probably No More Lies also. What's not good? Like, all of our stuff is good. I guess we don't need Infestation Sages. Got Die Lie Indoctrination. Intimidation Tactics is just better. I actually don't think that the Doorkeeper Thrulls really do anything. Although we do need them to close out the game, but we'll use our other creatures for that. Let's try this. Okay. We'll keep. Hopefully we can snag something with this Intimidation Tactics. Oh, perfect. Emberheart Challenger, there we go. Alright, they plot a Slick Shot. So they get to get in a huge hit. 11. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to play this land. Boo. Well, I chose the wrong land to play because I pretty much have to play this Clarion Conqueror. I was trying to ban this bot. Curse you, bot. Just going for the fling. Yeah, okay. Cool. I don't know. We just gotta hope they don't have that. Mole to more aggressively, I guess. Yeah, this is absolutely a mulligan. Here again, we have no removal. We do have Duress. I don't know if this is keepable. I think it's a mulligan. Well, I mean, this hand is not good either, but I don't think we can really keep a hand with 0 removal spells. At least here we maybe can sweep something, considering that we're on the play. Keep and probably bottom. I got a bottom 2. I don't know, Regent plus Conqueror? More Spell Pierce. Okay. Interest tap. You've never seen me lose these. What? Lose what? Matchups against Leyline of Resonance? Well, you know, it's just like a roll of the dice, you know? It's very hard to beat them on their draws. Firebending student, Wild Ride. So, do we lose here? Probably. I think we need to Spell Pierce one of these. Because I think we actually may lose if we don't. Five, 3. Yeah. We have a blocker at least. This thing doesn't have trample. I should have waited till they cast this again. That was a mistake. Burst lightning. Alright, we take a bunch of damage. Strategic betrayal. More Doorkeeper Thrulls. Alright, I think I just play this dragon. Just hope it's enough. Yet we really needed the removal spell there, that's for sure. And the exile of the graveyard was pretty sweet as well. Full bore. It also gains trample and haste in the end if it is cast for its warp cost. We're not blocking. Seam Rip. Okay, that's a good one. Get rid of that slick shot. I think I'll hold back my Doorkeeper Thrull as a blocker. Clarion Conqueror, okay. So let's attack. Play Conqueror. Slick shot plotted. And I think this is this game? Air Nomad Legacy. Yep, GG's. Alright, phew. Just barely. What a silly card. Oh, Constellations, the Ambitious will be our final match. We'll be on the play. See if we can do some hate bending. That looks fine. We can turn one Duress. Karuk. So here we are, Boomerang Basics. Okay, so we'll take nowhere to run probably. Yeah, we'll take nowhere to run. Okay, and then we can do this and take Legend or Entity Tracker. I think Entity Tracker. Alright, we missed our land drop. Opponent's also on one land. Alright, Intimidation Tactics. Grim Bauble or Fear of Isolation. I think we can take Fear of Isolation. Storm Chaser's talent. Alright, let's stab this otter. Spell Pierce. Boomerang Basics. No, thank you. White Source, please. Thank you. That's great. Because we can get lost in response to their Boomerang Basics. I think not. No value for you. Alright, let's stock up. Duress plus land. Probably want a Godless Shrine. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I not Duress there? Why did I not Duress there? They have a Boomerang Basics on top of their library. Which we can't stop. Well, I guess we can sweep their otters. We can't stop them from getting the value and drawing a card. I think we'll do this. Certainly take one of their legends, or maybe shoot the Sheriff, which can kill a Clarion Conqueror. They have that unable to scream, though, which is kind of annoying. Alright, we'll play that and play Clarion Conqueror, I guess. Boomerang Basics. Infestation Sage. Attack with our Conqueror. The Infestation Sage. Maybe I should have played my Regent there. Probably should have played Regent there. I'll play Doorkeeper Thrull. Unable to scream. Sure. Grim Bobble. Okay. Get an insect. We'll block. Do I want to play my Doorkeeper Thrull now? I kind of don't, because I want to X equals 2 this Scavenger Regents. Yeah, I think I just pass. Alright, they do draw land. Another Storm Chasers, We'll block. More land. Okay, X equals 2. Kill the otters. Go. Legend of Karuk. Scry 2, then draw a card. Okay. Mischievous Archive. Boy, we are whiffing on the good cards. Stock up would help. Next turn. This is the matchup that we want. It's not going great so far. Momentum Breaker. Stock up. This isn't great. I guess Spell Pierce can help us counter their next enchantment thing. Plus Restless Reef. Entity Tracker. Alright. Counter that. If we don't draw anything here, might be the end. Seam rip. Yeah, let's seam rip something. Probably Storm Chaser's talents. Here comes a reef. I guess we can just demolition field it. Sure. We still can activate our reef also. And we'll block here, I guess. Trade. Maybe the entity tracker would have been better. Probably the entity tracker would have been better because they draw cards with it. We just draw lands. Fear of isolation. Bouncy momentum breaker. Breaker makes us discard our last card. Intimidation tactics. Let's cycle this. What are we looking for? Our second Regents. Yep. Yeah, we're not beating that. Okay. Well, we drew too many lands there in the early mid-game, but we are ready for this matchup. This is the matchup we want. We want annuls. We want pest control. We want strategic betrayal. Detect intrusion. Is that it? Maybe no more lies? Torpor Orb also is a possibility. Although they don't seem to be the Quantum Riddler variant, really. They're like the entity tracker. So I think we'll cut one seam rip since we're boarding in pest control. Yeah, I don't think we need the Torpor Orb. We'll keep the Doorkeeper Thrulls. Stab actually isn't that great against them because their stuff all has 3 toughness. Yeah, actually the pest control... we'll keep in 2. It's good against the Storm Chaser's talent and the Grim Baubles, but the full 3 of I think is better, much better against the white versions. I think we'll bring in Split Up as well, and probably Get Lost. So we got to make 7 cuts. 1. Guess maybe we don't have room for the No More Lies that much. Oh shoot, I'm like legit running out of time. Uh-oh. We might have submitted 64 cards there. We'll play. Keep? Did we submit 64 cards? No, we didn't get in our sideboard in time. Hand also is not good. Tiny Bones joins up. Yep. discard an Infestation Sage. Duress. We don't have black mana though. Boomerang Basics. This is what we're supposed to be stopping. What do we want to discard here? Infestation Sage. Alright, let's Duress. Unable to scream, nowhere to run, get out. Nowhere to run, I guess. Fear of Isolation, bouncing Tiny Bones. Yeah, the Boomerang Basics is the 1 mana sorcery bounce target thing. If you control it, you draw a card, and it's a lesson. So it lets you just do what this deck is doing. Feels just like this town standard, where it's all about just which deck can leverage the repeated flickering of those enchantments the best. Opponent stocks up. It's a sorcery, I mean... Okay, we have a Duress. Duress you. Take Storm Chaser's talent. They have a Quantum Riddler. Well, at least they won't be getting value off that. It is still a 4/6. Okay, away goes their Riddler. Seam Rip. Counter target creature or enchantment spell. So they can counter this if I cast it. Let's just attack with the Conqueror. Nowhere to run. Targeting my Conqueror. Okay, a long goodbye would be a good draw. Something to let me start attacking through this stupid Fear of Isolation. Alright, well at least we can stop them from continually bouncing nowhere to run to kill my stuff. I guess I could have done the unable to scream there. Maybe that would have been better. That definitely would have been better. Because then I could have started attacking. Yep, and they just have a 4/6 now, which we can't deal with. So they're gonna draw 2 cards on their next untapped step. Sure, we'll block here, I guess. Air Nomad Legacy. Yeah, I don't think that does it. We don't have a removal spell for this 4/6. Fear of Isolation. Bouncing Fear of Isolation. Yep. See, the thing that's really difficult about this deck is that, let's see, what do we want? Does it matter? The thing that's difficult against playing against this version, and why it's probably better than the white version, and I think we're dead here, is it's actually like the Doorkeeper Thrull don't hate out the Fear of Isolation really, because picking up the permanent is a cost. So now we have to like start blocking. I think at this point, yeah, we block here. We need like split up, which I think we do have in our deck. Tiny Bones. Yep. Let's discard our land. Sure. Stock up. I mean, we're not gonna have any mana to do anything after that, so we're dead. Yep. Alright. Well, we weren't able to hate out Boomerang Basics, dagnabbit. It's very hard to hate. Okay, so our final record with this standard Hate Bender deck, which looks a lot like mini Azorius Hate Creatures deck that I played, was a 2 and 3. So, you know, we're kind of low on the ladder. We didn't play against a lot of meta stuff. We did play against one Boomerang Basics deck, which kind of destroyed us, even though we're sort of designed against that. And I think the deck needs more card draw, more removal. What is it that I always say? For a deck like this, where we're looking for particular pieces, like even front-loading our deck with the Intimidation tactics and the Duress didn't seem to be enough. So... yeah, I think more card draw, more removal is what we need, really. We need a couple of cards that are just like shoot the sheriff type cards. Just, you know, because for that one-off creature that gets through, you know, to take care of an Ouroboros or something like that, you know, we certainly could use one copy of that, and I think maybe another Consult the Star Charts or two. So certainly we could find some cuts. Maybe the Air Nomad Legacy should be cut, since it is anti-synergy with the Clarion Conqueror anyway, and we just resign ourselves to having a really slow clock. although the dragons are decent. So you certainly could free up a slot there. Yeah, I think we want another just like straight black removal spell, and we want 1 to 2 more card draw pieces. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe just it could just be that the answers are outpaced by like the decks that you're trying to answer. It doesn't take that much of an aberrant or spectacular draw from that Boomerang Basics deck to really gain a lot of value, whereas we have to have, just the right hate pieces in hand at just the right time to interfere with what they're doing. So the advantage inherently goes to like, the one playing the Boomerang Basics. So I don't know. I think it would help a little bit to have some more card draw. Probably can still the Sar charge out. Maybe even want to go like Ops, really cheap card draw in that matchup, because it is so important to find the right piece early in the game. Maybe 3 copies of these cards isn't enough to hate out the Boomerang Basics. Maybe you need 4 and 4. Because yeah, the Dimir version is so tricky because the entity tracker, bouncing the momentum breaker or whatever is part of the cost of the entity tracker. So like the Doorkeeper Thrull doesn't really stop it from doing its thing the same way it does the white Pixies and Kirins. So that's a problem. I don't know. I think this deck, in testing, this deck was very good against the Badgermole Cub. So we didn't get to see any of that, unfortunately. But it is kind of funny to see how bad the Clarion Conqueror does shut that deck down. A little disappointing to get destroyed by Boomerang Basics that way. But, I'm going to continue ruminating on how to beat that deck, because I really dislike that deck. And I thought it was already banned, but it turns out it was just like postponed to like a Avatar version. I don't know. I just think I find it annoying that the standard is going to be a race to see which shell can play and bounce and loop those cards the best. That's what it's all about, looping the Tiny Bones joins up, looping the Storm Chaser's talent, looping the momentum breakers. That's like the deck that can do that the most efficiently is going to be like a best deck in standard, if not the best deck. And like that's what everyone's trying to figure out, and it's just not a fun play pattern when like everyone's trying to do that, in my opinion. But that's where we are. So I think we gotta maybe update our hate a little bit, maybe think about different strategies we can use. So a little disappointing that we weren't able to hate out the Boomerang Basics, but I think we could do a better job of constructing the deck to do that. So rest assured, you'll be seeing the more of this hate bender concept down the line. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching me play this off-meta MTG content, trying to hate out the most popular strategies in Standard. If you do and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday night. There's a link to the Twitch channel in the description if you want to come check out the action in real time. So I bid you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you later.